an album and produce it. It all came around one Sunday afternoon 2 years ago. My dear friend Jim Cregan brought his guitar for Sunday lunch and he started strumming and I started singing something. Jim sent it back and it sounded pretty good. So I wrote some lyrics to it and that song was Brighton Beach.
I guess you found it hard to simply just ignore this scruffy, beat-up, working-class teenage troubadour.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Cregan! Yeah, Jim, pull up his seat. There we are. Nice to see you.
You've got my chair, haven't you?
No, that's my chair. You're there. I'll tell you what you haven't...
a terrible start.
Yes, I'll tell you what I haven't noticed. I've got your mate's boots on.
Yeah, he's going to have... He want them back, you know.
Sit yourself down, Jim. If the microphone isn't loud enough, just pull it in a little bit.
He's attacked me already.
So the only thing, we don't know what we're going to talk about. I've got a few pointers here. They're not questions. I've got a few pointers, and we've got to get to some videos in the show. The first band that you were, the first proper successful band you were in, when you were touring up and down with the Thames van, because that's what you guys used to tour in, wasn't it? Before the days of the transit. Well, who? Who were your first big band?
The first big band? Well, of course, not very many people want to know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I was a van driver for Hudson Brothers grocery shop in Northwood Hills. And I got offered the job to play guitar in the Tornadoes, which you didn't know, did you?
Joe Meek's Tornadoes.
Joe Meek's Tornadoes. So the way that worked was there was a mate of mine who was a fabulous drummer who played with Peter Frampton in a band called The Herd. His name was Andrew Steele. He was terribly posh, but he was out of work and he wanted somewhere to stay, so he stayed with my mum and dad, with me. And I had the bandwagon that had his drums in it. And he said, Jim, would you do me a favour? And I've got an audition to join the Tornadoes. Would you drive me over to Joe Meek's joint in Holloway Road, which was above a ladies' handbag shop, which suited Joe very well because he could just pop down, get a nice handbag, and go back to work. So he goes in and sets up his drums and plays, and he said, look, he says, Joe, he says, my mate who drove me here, he's a guitar player, he could be much more fun if I jammed with him. I said, oh, right, okay, so I got my gear out of the van, and we jammed, and I got the job, and he didn't.
Oh! What was Joe Meek like?
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Well, I thought he was this breakthrough, fabulous producer.
Well, he was. He was a very clever guy, but he was really, really strange. So he goes off. So this all takes place in a flat above the handbag shop. And there's not much going on, and Joe goes off somewhere, and we're sitting there thinking, not a sandwich, not a cup of tea. I'll have a wander about, see if there's a kitchen or something. And I wander into this room, and it's covered in equipment and wires and stuff and a tape recorder. And as I'm standing there looking at it, puzzling, what's going on, Joe comes in and goes, "You! What are you doing? What are you looking at? Get up, go on, get up, out now, go on, out. I'm thinking, he wants me to work in a band with him? I still said yes anyway because the money was good. Oh dear, embarrassing. So I did last for about 6 months with the Tornadoes. I kept trying to get them to play blues because I was very much into the blues movement. But it was my first professional job, and I don't actually, nobody really knows I was in the Tornadoes till
No,
now.
I didn't know that.
And but I did learn how to play the Hall of the Mountain King, which is by some chap called Cregan. I can't remember what band he was in. And I went bong dong bong bong.
Oh, that was Greg Lake from
That was
Lake Palmer.
Yeah. Cregan Palmer, yes. So I did learn something. I also discovered that I didn't want to dye my red hair blonde, which is one of Joe's requirements. Everybody in the band had to be blonde. He was a quite aggressive gay man, and I have no problem with gay men, but he was quite, that sort of the creepy gay men who get bands and then try to have sex with the people in the band. Fortunately, I was so unattractive that he left me alone. But
You didn't think you were going to get any of this tonight, did you?
you don't know anything about this, do you? It's all new.
No.
It's all new. Anyway, so that fell apart eventually, and I got a job in a band. No, I had a band called the Dissatisfied Blues Band, which played these kind of places, and it was quite fun. And we played Smokestack Lightning and all those other old Muddy Waters. That's obviously a Howlin' Wolf song. But there is a story about. We were managed by a guy called George Okomowski. I have no idea how we got to be managed by George Okomowski. That's something I've obviously blotted out. But he said he was a Russian Swiss man who talked like this. Jim, you haven't got much talent, but I like you. So you're going to be going to open for Howlin' Wolf. I'm bringing Howlin' Wolf over for the Blues Festival. And the warm-up is going to be at a club called Crooks Creek, and you and the Dissatisfied will play there. Okay, all right. Okay, no, fine. I'm thinking, bloody hell, Howlin' Wolf, right? It's a big deal. So now the worry is, so we meet in the kitchen of this place, and I'm worried that I don't know how to address him. I'm going to, he's going to come any minute, and I'm going to go, hello, Mr. Wolf, or good afternoon, Howling. And I had no idea. And thank God, his name is Chester, isn't it? Chester Burnett. I think that's his real name.
I can't remember.
And he very kindly came to me because he was built like a barrel. He was a very stocky man. And Helen talked like, and he held out his hand and said, my name's Chester. I went, thank and we were all about 19 or 20, and he looked us up and down. He said, "So you guys, you're a band?" I said, "Yeah, we're a band." He said, "Well, I know you guys know how to play the blues." And we were like, "We have a clue what we were doing." But he gave us this wonderful moment of confidence. I know you how to play the blues. We'll get up there and go and do it. And he had with him the wonderful guitar player called Hubert Sumlin, who played a blue twinkly Hagstrong guitar and was so thin he only had one stripe in his pajamas. But he was an icon to me, you know, because all the guys my age, you know, all my compadres, you know, not that I put myself on the same level as them, but you know, Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton and all those guys, we were all seriously into the blues. So to play on the same stage as Howlin' Wolf and Hubert Sumlin was like, oh my God, I've gone to heaven. I would have paid money instead of getting the £4 I got. So they, to answer your question, what I was doing when I was a young lad going on the road.
I'm pretty impressed.